Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Hello and welcome, coin lovers. This channel is dedicated to the fascinating world of coins from every corner of the globe. From ancient currency to modern mints, rare finds to everyday coins, we explore their history, design, and hidden stories. So subscribe now and join our growing community of coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and curious minds. I have 2 videos of 5 centimer. So let's get started. The 5 centime coin is a small denomination currency unit that has been used in several countries, most famously in France, Belgium, and Switzerland, all of which historically issued centime coins as subdivisions of the franc. By 1997, the 5 centime coin still held a small monetary value, though inflation had already diminished its purchasing power. Despite this, it remained in circulation as part of everyday transactions until the eventual replacement of national currencies by the euro in 2002 for France and Belgium. The 1997 5 centime coin represents not only a piece of metal but also a symbol of a fading era, just before Europe entered the euro era. It captures the essence of late 20th century coinage, simple, practical, yet tied to centuries of monetary history. The centime was a subdivision of the franc. 1 franc was equal to 100 centimes, so the 5 centime coin represented 1/20th of a franc. The franc system had been in use since the French Revolution, 1795, when decimalized currency replaced older medieval systems. By 1997, France and Belgium were still officially using their national francs, though plans for the euro were in full progress. Coins like the 5 centime were increasingly seen as small change, but they still circulated in everyday use, particularly for small purchases such as bread, candy, newspapers, and public transportation. The 1997 5 centime coin, taking the French version as the most notable example, featured designs that blended national identity and republican ideals. Typically depicted the image of Marianne, the national symbol of France, embodying liberty, equality, and fraternity. Marianne's portrait was often styled in classical Greek or Roman features, signifying reason and democracy. Some designs carried inscriptions such as République Française, affirming the authority of the Republic. The denomination, 5 centimes, was boldly displayed, often surrounded by wheat ears, laurel, or olive branches, symbols of agriculture, peace, and prosperity. The year 1997 appeared at the bottom, with a mint mark and engraver's signature. These artistic details weren't just decoration, they reflected French identity and the continuity of republican values. The 1997 French 5 centime coin was small in size and modest in composition, designed for practical circulation rather than luxury. Metal, mostly made from copper-plated steel or a bronze alloy, copper, tin, and zinc. Color, a reddish-brown or golden tone depending on wear and oxidation. Weight, around 3 grams. Diameter, approximately 19 millimeters. Edge, smooth, plain, making it distinguishable from higher-value coins. This simple composition kept production costs low, as the coin had very limited purchasing power. The coin was minted in large quantities since small change was essential for daily commerce. France's coins were struck at the Monnaie de Paris, Paris Mint, one of the oldest operating mints in the world, established in the year 864 under King Charles the Bald. In Belgium and Switzerland, their own 5 centime coins followed similar designs and minting traditions. 1997 was among the last few years of production before the transition to the euro, 1999-2002. In daily life, the 5 centime coin was commonly used for paying for bread where cents mattered in rounding off prices, small candies or chewing gum, from kiosks, telephone booths, vending machines, and postage stamps. Despite inflation, people still valued these small coins because they helped avoid rounding errors in shops. However, by the late 1990s, public sentiment saw them as increasingly bothersome, since their value was declining and they cluttered wallets. In 1997, Europe was preparing for monetary union. The euro was officially introduced as a unit of account in 1999 and entered circulation in 2002. Inflation had already reduced the real-world buying power of small coins. What cost 5 centimes in 1900 could now cost several francs in 1997. Still, the government maintained production for convenience and tradition. Thus, the 1997 5 centime coin was essentially a coin of transition, part of a currency about to be replaced by the euro. Today, the 1997 5-centime coin holds more historical than monetary value. Circulated examples: common and worth only face value or slightly more to collectors. Uncirculated mint condition examples, more desirable, may fetch a small premium among collectors of late Franc era coins. Proof issues, if any, highly collectible, since they were struck in small numbers for presentation sets. Collectors often value these coins as part of a complete French franc set, especially those minted in the years leading up to the euro. The 1997 5-centime coin represents the end of the Franc era, 1795-2001. A symbol of small everyday exchanges, the little coin that helped exact payments. A piece of national identity, carrying Marianne, the eternal symbol of liberty. A marker of economic change, bridging the gap between the franc and the euro. The 1997 5-centime coin may appear tiny and ordinary, but its story stretches across centuries of French and European history. It connects the revolutionary roots of the franc to the modern euro era. It is a reminder of how coins, no matter how small, carry with them art, history, economics, and culture. Today, it is a collector's item, not for its financial worth, but for its historical and sentimental value as one of the last centimes of France before Europe united under the euro. Next video. The 1966 5-centime coin of France is a small yet historically rich piece of French numismatics, belonging to the post-World War II monetary era. France had adopted the franc system long before the euro was introduced, and in the mid-20th century, the French economy was undergoing major changes under the Fifth Republic led by Charles de Gaulle. The 5-centime coin played a vital role in daily commerce, representing a very small denomination that allowed French citizens to purchase basic items like bread portions, postage stamps, or small goods. Though its purchasing power was modest, its wide circulation made it one of the most common coins in France at the time, and today it remains a nostalgic relic for collectors. The obverse of the 1966 French 5-centime coin features the classical image of Marianne, the national personification of the French Republic, symbolizing liberty, reason, and the spirit of revolution. Marianne wears a Phrygian cap, a powerful emblem of freedom dating back to the French Revolution. This image connects the coin not only to monetary value but also to French identity and pride. On the reverse side, the denomination, 5 centimes, is boldly engraved along with the year 1966, surrounded by motifs of wheat ears, an olive branch, and oak leaves. Each plant holds symbolic meaning. Wheat represents agriculture and nourishment, olive symbolizes peace, and oak represents strength and endurance. Together, they reflect France's desire to rebuild prosperity after the war years and highlight its agricultural heritage. The coin was struck in aluminium-bronze alloy, 95% copper, 4% aluminum, 1% tin, which gave it a golden tone despite its small value. This choice of material was intentional. It was inexpensive to produce, durable, lightweight, and resistant to corrosion. The coin has a diameter of 19 millimeters, a weight of about 1 gram, and a smooth edge. Its small size made it convenient for pocket use, and it circulated heavily across France for everyday transactions. The year 1966 was part of an important period in France's economic life. President Charles de Gaulle was consolidating France's role as an independent power, both politically and economically. Domestically, the country was experiencing industrial growth and modernization, which increased the importance of coins like the 5 centime in daily trade. By the 1960s, France was also participating in early discussions about European economic integration, although the euro was still decades away. The 1966 issue of the 5 centime was part of the long-running series minted between 1962 and 2001, which remained in circulation until the introduction of the euro in 2002, after which these coins were officially demonetized. Millions of 5 centime coins were minted in 1966 at the Paris Mint Monnaie de Paris. Because of its huge production, the coin was very common and frequently used by all social classes, from market vendors to school children. Its widespread availability, however, also means that many examples survive today, which keeps its collector's value relatively modest unless the coin is in uncirculated or proof condition. For numismatists, the 1966 5 centime coin holds more historical than monetary value. In circulated condition, it is usually worth only a few cents or a couple of euros at most, since millions were struck. However, pristine uncirculated specimens or those in proof sets can fetch higher prices. Collectors often seek to build complete sets of French coins before the Euro era, making the 1966 piece an essential addition to a 20th-century French coin collection. Its golden color and symbolic design make it visually appealing, especially compared to smaller copper coins. Although financially modest, the 5 centime coin is deeply remembered by older generations of French citizens. For them, it represents the small yet meaningful transactions of everyday life, buying sweets, paying for newspapers, or using vending machines. After the euro replaced the franc in 2002, many people kept their old centime coins as souvenirs of a bygone era. The 1966 issue, being from the mid-1960s, is often associated with the optimism and modernization of France during that decade. The 1966 French 5 centime coin may not be rare or extremely valuable in today's numismatic market, but it carries immense historical, cultural, and symbolic significance. Its design reflects the ideals of liberty, peace, and prosperity. Its production tells the story of mid-20th century France, and its memory lingers as a tangible piece of daily life before the euro. For collectors, historians, and enthusiasts, the coin is a small yet powerful reminder of how currency is not just a medium of exchange but also a mirror of a nation's identity and heritage. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.